So
Do
I'll
I
probably
have to
talk
come
about
in on
that.
this part of the show, or I'm not saying nothing?
Not at all. Matter of fact, you should mute your mic right now until we
Until we
until,
call upon you.
until you been introduced. Ah.
Welcome to episode 17 of Fantasy Friends. I'm your host, Magellan. This is the one, the only, Akimbo Merc.
You could just introduce me as Akimbo Merc.
I just like
you don't
to
have to
build you.
one
I like
and
to build you
only.
up.
I don't need to build up.
Yep.
I just need to be introduced like you introduce yourself.
Well, I feel like that when I introduce myself, I put all the energy into that and not enough into you. I feel like
But I think
that
it's
you
overkill,
complain
though.
the
It's
whole
overkill,
time
though.
about my introduction.
Yeah, but I feel like you build me up, and then I got to live up to that standard.
Yeah.
You know, the one,
What's
the
wrong
only,
with that?
the coolest black guy on the planet. You know,
Yeah.
the handsomeness. You know, all the amazing. I know I'm all those things, but if you keep putting it out there, you know, it doesn't. You know, I don't shine like I usually shine. So.
All right. Well, then
Just simple.
next time I'll just go, hey, Kimbo Merc. Here you go.
No, do it now.
I'm not going to do it right
Come on, reintroduce me. I'm ready.
now.
Go.
All right. The whole introduction? I'm going to do the whole introduction.
Just me. Just me.
And this is my co-host, Kimbo Merc.
You gotta work on that. Sounds so fake. No, man, what you been saving for the show?
I
Talk
got
to me.
so much. Let's
right,
just
got that
do
much time,
this
so
show.
we can-
Let's whatever we were gonna do. Let's stop it and let's just do a whole save it for the show.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'd like to wave you off goodbye. We do have a guest today, but we'll get into that after our save it for the show. So, what I've been saving for the show. Couple of things I want to hit on, including one that kind of rolls into the show, but of course you got to do your whole save it for the show thing. Of course, why when I start the show do you have to move around and get up?
You're not supposed to tell the audience I do that.
All right, man. So, a couple of things I'm going to hit them real quick. First thing, you guys have been hearing me talk about it episode after episode. I finally got confirmation on shipping for my Darth Vader lightsaber. So,
Because we were all worried. Oh my God. Oh, this Darth Vader lightsaber. Let's get this resolved so
Yeah.
the world can move on.
so no
I'm happy to hear
shipping.
it.
Just had to pay tax. It'll be here tomorrow, actually. Surprise! I wasn't going to talk about this for Save It for the Show, but I got a package today. Do you know anything about that package that I got today?
Not at all.
You don't know.
I know nothing about your package.
You don't know. It said Chris
And I want to be
Mags.
clear about that. I don't know anything about his package. All right, let's go.
Boing. So the package came and it said Chris Mags Fantasy Friends Podcast. So of course
Nice.
I knew who it was already, and
Your favorite fan?
because your address was there, so I kind of
Oh,
gave it
that,
away. So I opened this package, and it's a huge package with all this paper, and I'm thinking one or two things at this point. I'm thinking, I'm unpacking all this paper, and there's going to be absolutely nothing in there.
that would have been so awesome, dude.
It would have been amazing.
That would have
But
been so awesome.
it would have been the thought, right, of you sending that
Right.
and wanting to do that.
The thought that I would do all that trouble to prank you, yes.
But I know you're lazier than that.
Yes, I am.
So I get through this, I want to say about a mile and a half of this paper that's in there to keep the products from destroying. So I get past that, man, and I see this awesome, it's a 20-inch 20 inches. Like Merc, 20 inches.
That's a pretty big package.
20-inch Legend of Zelda Link. And this thing's awesome, man. It's got the color. It's a Nintendo licensed product. It's not something you got at the swap meet. I mean, it's legit. And I deeply, and I've told you this like 10 times a day, and I will not stop.
Yes. Keep going.
Thank you.
More. Give me more.
You are amazing.
Yes, I am.
You are a great friend. I even texted Yasmin. I'm like, look what Merc sent me. And she's like, wow, he's a great friend. That's what she said.
I am. Thank you.
So thank you for that. Yes. It's amazing.
No, excuse me. I am an amazing friend. I just want to confirm that.
Yeah.
So go ahead. No, go ahead and finish. That's it.
And just before we get off of that, confirmed the confirmation that you are an amazing friend. So we got that confirmed, that confirmation. But yeah, dude, it's sweet. It goes with my room. It's awesome. The sword is on point, which is my biggest thing with the Master Sword. All you geeks and nerds know what I'm talking about. And a little surprise, which I'm wearing right now, is a Arkham Knight lanyard.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sweet. And I told him I would wear it for all the upcoming shows from now on, so I always got to keep it with me.
So the whole goal was for you to wear that and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
The only reason I have a shirt on is because we have a guest.
Well, that's
so
creepy. Did you have anything else that you were saving, sir?
Yeah, I just got too into the fact that you're an amazing friend.
I know.
And lover.
But I mean, we could talk about me all day.
Oh, we could talk about you all day.
We could talk about that package all day.
All day. That's what they call him. They call him Danny All Day Merc.
All day. Or as I like to say it, the package.
Nah, man. But those were the 2 points I want to hit quick, but I took a little bit more time. So the one other thing I wanted to is we've been me and Yasmin have a great relationship. I mean, awesome marriage. Our 10-year anniversary is coming up on July 24th this year. And so that being said, you always want to have that kind of, you think 10 years, rekindle something, you just kind of something special. And so what I realized here as of late, the last 2-3 weeks, is that we've been bonding a lot more than we ever have. We're doing things together that we normally don't do. Like we were singing this karaoke app together.
Nice.
She wants to do this thing where it's just more about the time that we spend together, but she wants to get one of those Disney princess makeup kits, and she wants me. What? Yeah. So
to wear it.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and this is about
this just took a turn, folks.
So she wants.
Maybe this is some bonding that you and Yash should keep to yourselves. I'm not sure she wanted to put this on the podcast.
We got the leather, we got the spike heels. We just don't have the.
Yeah, you just missing the Disney princess kit.
So the whole thing is just about spending time together and having fun. So she wants to find a Frozen makeup kit, and she wants me to. She wants me to do her makeup like the princess, and I don't know. I'm a little worried because I don't know how to do makeup. We're
going to edit that part out of the show. You're losing man points right now.
So, but that is just a form of bonding. Everybody bailed on me.
No, that is not a form of bonding. You putting makeup on and she putting makeup on. That is a Disney princess tea party.
No.
That's what that is.
She's going to be sitting in a chair.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be putting the makeup.
Will there be tea there?
No, there's no tea.
With the little cakes?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, this is not Beauty and the Beast. Okay, this is Frozen.
Look,
get your Disney movies right.
Sorry. Will you be wearing makeup?
No. This is purely to have fun, bond, be close together.
I'm not as excited as I was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's
but go ahead.
I know it's not the raunchiness that you like.
Yeah. I was looking for it because you kind of, hey, I'm just saying.
And then one other quick thing is, everybody bailed on me yesterday, so I came up with a way that me and her could play a single player game by printing the game map out so she can navigate me instead of me opening up the map. So we're just finding ways to bond with each other. I don't know what kind of phase it's going through. Maybe it's right before we get a divorce. I don't know. So, but yeah, that's all I've been saving for the show.
Well, it's interesting that you guys have been together 10 years, man. Relationships, when you've been in a relationship with somebody for 10 years, you fall into this pattern, this rut, and this routine, and you gotta, this is the part I hate. You actually gotta work at your relationship. Like when you first meet somebody, you don't have to work at it. It's all natural. It just kind of takes this life of its own. You plan to go to dinner on a weekend. You're always planning. And then when you two finally get into this relationship and it's a year later, all the planning is gone.
Yeah.
And it fluttered away with the butterflies. So now you're just kind of like looking at this person, they're looking at you. Then eventually you're just in your own room and you're doing your own thing or you're on your own phone, whatever. But I think it's great, man, that you guys are bonding again.
Yeah.
And it's actually, you have to work at it. So
yeah. And it's crazy, man, because we're finding ways to be closer and to spend more time together. You know what I mean? So,
right.
But it's really cool, man. I figured that would tie into what we're going to talk about later. But first,
it does. Yeah.
No, go ahead and finish what you're saying. Then I'll cut you off again.
I'm done.
Okay.
That's all right.
Okay.
Like we're in traffic. Just
done. What have you been saving for the show?
Oh, now I can talk.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is that kind of ties into what I wanted to talk about today. So I was at work, and there is a young lady at work that takes every holiday and decorates her cubicle.
I love that. Dude, I love that.
And so at first, it was just I was so used to it. I was so used to seeing it. It was just a normal thing. Every holiday, I don't care what it is, whether she celebrates that particular holiday or what, she does it. 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, Easter,
Kwanzaa.
Christmas, holiday, Kwanzaa. She did the Kwanzaa. And so you kind of get used to this stuff and you don't make a big deal about it. She's also good at bringing in, I think she brings in food every first or last Friday of every month. Just, out of our pocket.
Yeah.
Doesn't ask for help or anything. Just acts of kindness or whatever.
So every first Friday.
Yeah, every first Friday. She'll bring in different food and stuff. And so you kind of get used to it after
the first of the month
years.
is what you're telling me. She brings it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
First of the month. But for some reason, I was standing by another person's desk and her cubicle caught my eye and she had her St. Patrick's decorations up. And it kind of gave me pause. It just made me think about how there's so much that's happening, negative wise in this world, in our relationships, in our lives, that we can still take time to kind of create our own little happy space, our own little happiness on our own. We don't need anybody's help. We don't need any, input for anything. So, and that's what I kind of saw. It's like, okay, yeah, it's pretty cool that it's the holidays and we're celebrating. But for me, what I saw was she's taking time to bring a little joy in her life, regardless of whatever's going on. Now, she recently lost her mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a hard thing to deal with. And I guess maybe that's why she was on my mind. But it made me think like, man, I don't have to be so bitter and cynical about this world. Yeah. You know how I feel about this world. How I just like, I'm disgusted by it. But
yeah, you hate everybody.
Even being disgusted by it. Yeah, well, pretty much. I need to kind of slow down and start carving out some happy time.
Yeah.
The
way you said that was raunchy. The way you laughed. I need to carve out some.
Because I was thinking about the last podcast. Happy time.
Happy time.
Well, just make that extra effort to celebrate life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I see her doing, celebrating life, serving others, whether I don't care what her motive is, she's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's a lot more than most people do.
So she could be slowly poisoning you.
Criticize her. Dude, I would eat the poison every first
You would eat it. God.
Yeah.
You're so dedicated.
So
I love that.
This also kind of ties into the second thing I wanted to talk about. So this past weekend, my family got together. We all went out to this pizza place, Aurelio's.
Mm-hmm.
It was 16 of us. It just kind of started small. My mom was like, hey, get your brothers, get them together, tell them I want to have lunch on Saturday. So cool. Then before
you get into this, I have to ask a question.
Yes.
When you guys showed up to the restaurant, were the cops called?
No, because there was already another family there that was worse than us.
Okay, so the cops are already gone. All right.
Yeah, the Buffer family was already there. They'd already come up, told them, hey, turn your hip hop down. And they kept moving. But it was pretty cool, man. And my mom had to be the one to initiate that. And I guess I'm going to start trying to initiate these things more often and just kind of create that happy time. My family, because I had so much fun, bro. We were there. It was 16 of us, like I said. We got to see the twin girls. Mm-hmm. Took a lot of pictures. I posted them on Facebook. If you follow me, go check them out. But dude, we ate so much pizza, so many appetizers, man, and it was just a good time. It was a good time. And our buddy L, I've been watching him, from the corner of my eye. He makes sure that him and his girl make sure they get out and they have a good time.
Yeah.
I think they were doing karaoke 2 days ago or something like that. So
hold on, whoa. My ex-friend went to karaoke without even asking me. All right. Duly noted for everybody.
Maybe we should take a break. Get into today's episode. But let's do that. So we have our first guest coming on the Fantasy Friends podcast. We have been negotiating for the last month. We finally come to terms on how much we are going to pay our guests. And she settled on taking absolutely nothing. And so that's what we're going to pay. Absolutely nothing.
She's actually paying us.
Well, I didn't want to get into that part.
Oh, okay.
High five. But when we get back, I'll introduce your guest, and we're going to have a good time.
Good times?
Nope, not that good time.
No, okay. All right.
We'll be back. Did we tip? What we look like? We gave our EBT card, told her, look, we'll run across the street and use this and come back.
I can't give you a tip, but I can give you this. Government cheese.
Nope.
Welcome back to episode 17 of Fantasy Friends. Merc, please introduce Fantasy Friends' first guest.
Her name is Miss Nikki, and she has a very, very popular page on Facebook called Relationship Question of the Day. It has over 15,000 followers. She also uses her personal page as well to ask a relationship question every day. But before we get into that, because I want her to talk about herself, I want to tell you how we met. All right? I wrote this down.
A Nikki bum bum down. Sorry, I had to say that. It was just weighing on me.
Just get out of here. A new girl named Nikki. I guess you can say she was his ex-fiend. I met her in the hotel lobby. She was masturbating with a magazine. She said, how you like to waste some time? I could not resist when I saw little Nikki grind. She took me to a castle, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. She had so many devices, everything that money could buy. She said, sign your name on the dotted line. The lights went out, and Nikki started to cry.
Come back, Nikki. Come back.
Miss Nikki, welcome to the show. Welcome to Fantasy Friends Podcast. I am excited to have you. I have been waiting all month to read those Prince lyrics. To embarrass you, to turn you bright red. But no, welcome to the show. Hey, what have you been saving for the show?
Ooh.
How about that?
I'm like you. I haven't been saving anything.
Oh, she reneging on her contract right now. See, there's nothing exciting going on that you want to talk about before we start talking about you in your podcast. I mean, your Facebook page.
No, you know what? I think that I'm just blown away right now by the whole politics. Donald Trump winning. Does that or does that not just blow your mind?
Uh,
I don't even
Did you
like.
see it,
I don't
or
even
did
know
you?
why you're asking him about politics. This
don't
could
ask me
drag
about
into a
politics.
whole nother show.
I'm gonna give you my short answer.
Okay.
My short answer is that Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Rubio, Hillary Clinton, none of it matters. We're at a point now in history where the leader of our country is just the face of an organization behind him, is what I believe. So, am I shocked that Donald Trump is winning? No, he is telling
Really?
the truth. He is telling the truth. Well, you understand the makeup of America. So, America, what 12, 13% black.
Here we go.
You know, I think
Look what you
it's
started.
actually
Here we go.
an equal. I'm gonna be real short. It's an equal number of Hispanic people or whatever. But this country is predominantly white, and built on racism. And so a lot of stuff that Donald Trump is saying, it hits home for them. They are excited that they don't have to be politically correct anymore.
I love that.
And so of course they're going to rally behind him and support him. So don't be surprised.
Well,
Now, I don't think it matters if Trump or Hillary Clinton is president. I think they both have the same agendas. They're just coming at it from two different sides of the same paper. That's my personal.
And that was Akimbo Merck Stills Save It for the Show segment.
I am carrying Nikki right now. I'm carrying her because she didn't have nothing for the show. But she had a whole month.
no,
Say
I
something.
asked, should I have something to say? And then I think I was told no. I think I was told no. I wasn't even invited to the first part of the show. So,
Miss Nikki, tell us about the creation of the relationship question of the day. Where did it come from? Why do you do it? And as Magellan and I were discussing, why do you feel that you're qualified?
Why are you qualified?
Question?
I wish I had a lamp right now. I'd put it right here, like a
Show
detective.
me your street cred. Who told you can ask questions every day?
well, what happened is I actually started doing the questions of the day. I wanted my Facebook page to be different. I'm personable. Okay. So what ended up happening is I started asking questions. I didn't want to make my page like everybody else's page. So I started asking questions, and then I ended up creating the relationship question of the day page with actually some other people were involved in that page at first. And then, you know how that goes. People dwindle off and stuff like that. And so then I just started asking them on mine. And then at one point in time, I didn't ask them for a while, but then people were asking for them. And so people started inboxing me stuff that they wanted to know the answer to. So I just became the go-to page. Some people wanted my advice, but normally what I do is I put the question out there and then I don't even answer it. If I answer it, it's to somebody in the inbox. I don't put my opinion. I just let other people say theirs.
So you are the ish starter of the day.
Yeah.
Some may say that.
The ish starter of the day. Okay, but why relationships? Why are you just talking about relationships? Why you don't talk about like the car part of the day or like, the food of the day or anything like? Why did you pick relationships?
Like sex position
in general
of the day.
I think
because
I think that what happened is a lot of people on Facebook, the way the questions were going were a lot of relationship based. There are some other questions that I do ask, that involve like kids, but it's still relationships and family and stuff like that, but it's still relationships. So it's not just guy, girl.
Like raunchy sex position. Like it's actually more in depth.
Right. And that's a good point, which is one of the reasons why the relationship page started separate, because I try to keep my page clean. And it was some people really wanting some answers to some things that I wouldn't dare.
Like what?
I'm going to need you to earmuff real quick. Merc, why is she on the show? I thought we were getting raunchy.
Listen, we gotta get raunchy.
Were you trying to get raunchy?
She gonna tell us about her packet. I guarantee you that. So your personal page is the clean page, and then the other page is the dirty page. The Nikki grind page.
Right. It's almost like the measuring tape thing. You know, the size matters, stuff like that. That's the page.
So that's why you have it. See,
she admitted it. Fantasy friend fact.
Right.
Fantasy friend fact. Your package does have a size, and it does matter. Packages matter. All packages matter.
I didn't.
Okay, so how many years have you been doing this?
I think the page started about 4 years ago.
Okay, and you have over 15,000 likes, which is awesome. I mean, I think that's amazing. How was there a point in time in doing those 4 years where you were kind of like, 20, 30, and then it just kind of skyrocketed? And what propelled you to get up to 15,000 likes? Because that's a lot.
Right, because when we started the show, as I stated, there were some other people involved in it who were asking. Guy kind of saw my page, who I don't know, but he saw that I was kind of doing the same thing he was doing. Right. So let's kind of work together. And then it ended up, just spreading the word. And then it was like every time we would get reports, it would be like 1,000 people joined your page this week, liked your page this week. It was kind of like, we were kind of blown away ourselves. And then, like, I still get updates. Of course, it's dwindled off some. Like, yesterday, I think maybe 26 people joined the page.
So does that some pressure comes with that, right? Some responsibility now, because all these people are counting on you to provide a question every day. So you got that. Mm-hmm. Have there been days where you just like, I ain't got nothing to ask? Or, what do you do on those days?
Because the inbox, you'll be surprised at how many questions are in the inbox. But I can tell you that for a while I didn't have time to do it. I was trying to get somebody else to manage it, but then you don't want people to send you questions that's confidential and other people get a chance to read them and stuff like that. So I kind of had to I didn't answer, for a minute. I didn't keep up with it like I should have. Like now if you go, you'll see when the conversation starts, it may be 10 or 20, but at one point in time, it was hundreds of people. Like some people that, we had to say, wait a minute, because it was arguments, name calling, that type of thing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some daytime soap opera stuff, some dynasty stuff.
That's exactly what it was.
See, people on Facebook want more drama than Facebook can give. So then they go to start trolling on
and start arguments. One of the biggest arguments that we found was, and the question was, who's the most insecure? A woman who puts up with the guy who's cheating, or the side chick who cheats with the guy? And that was really
that was gasoline, huh?
So doesn't that tell you something about like society? Because the argument shouldn't be an argument. It should be like, he's cheating. The question shouldn't even have side chick. There shouldn't be any argument, but the side chicks are in there arguing.
Exactly. That's exactly last week, is one of you guys' questions that I brought for you guys. But last week, I was at work, and I don't let anybody at work follow me, but I end up sharing a question with one of my coworkers, and she was so upset. She's been married, I think, 40 years, and she was upset. So the question is, what level of respect does a person who broke up a marriage deserve from family and friends that's now their significant other? So basically, this person was a mistress who came along, broke up a family, and you'd be surprised the argument that was on there, and the person at work could not believe how many people were saying, well, nobody can break up a marriage. And they were acting like she didn't do anything wrong. Everybody deserves respect. And she couldn't have broke up, she couldn't come and break up somebody's marriage. No, and it was, of course, it was people who were saying, well, she should have stayed out of it. And, people were marriages between two people. She shouldn't have got involved. But really, for the most part, people were, who are you? We to judge people. And
it is people out there who are proudly wearing the side chick label. I mean, they out there with T-shirts on talking about, yes, I am a side chick. I got the look. Remember the chains that you used to get, the gold chains with your names on there, and it'd be like LaQuisha and Mercedes and Big Boo Boo and all that. They got side chick chains now.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying, that they're wearing. So I don't understand the whole. I know it's just another word for mistress, but it's different than a mistress because a side chick is somebody who don't care if you know about them. Like they're actually kind of proud of that.
Yeah,
that's what I get from it.
It's almost like.
But the mistress used to kind of try to hide and even try to help her boo stay. You know what I mean? Because she didn't want to lose her boo. But the side chick be all up in the main chick face, like, I'm the side chick. Yeah,
I'm the one handling it right.
I'm doing what you can't do. You know. Again, what does that say about, where we at mentally?
Yeah.
But that's true because that's what a lot of the argument and stuff has been. And just like you just said, it used to be a time when you would be too ashamed to be messing around with someone. Nobody would know. It was on the down low. Nobody knew it was a secret. Now they post it on Instagram when he goes to sleep. They'll post a picture. And post it for everybody to see it, and they don't think they did anything wrong.
We banged at Burger King, and then we came to my apartment and banged again.
That Burger King bathroom sex, you get a free shake with that.
I heard that. That's the rumor.
You do? It's a child size shake, but you get one.
Yeah, fantasy friend fact. If you bang your side chick in a Burger King bathroom, you have to show
busy in the Burger King bathroom.
You have to show proof. But if you do, boom, you got it.
So it's like
child size shake.
Yeah, it's a child size.
Yeah, come out there with a coupon and you get the child size shake.
But see, Mickey D's doesn't do that.
Nah, they give you the ice cream cone.
How many times have you banged your side chick? I don't want to stop.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And this is where we're going to take a break and come back. We're going to talk some more. We're not going to talk about the 90s. Well, we're giving out child size ice cream cone left and right. No. Let's focus on our guest, Miss Nikki. So, all right, 15,000 followers. You're doing this every day. You got your light side and your dark side questions. Where are you going with this? Where have you envisioned taking this to? Where do you want to do it? Are you happy where it's at? Have you thought about doing other things with it? Because I've seen people go on and become radio show hosts or even write a book. Like, books are great because the material is already there. All the questions are there. All the answers are already there. People have volunteered this stuff to you. So you got a wealth of drama that you can capitalize off of if that's what you want to do with it. But what are some of your aspirations with the relationship questions of the day page?
We've always talked about, radio and stuff like that. We've had some people approach us before, but, you guys have gotten approached before when things just don't sound right. They just don't sound right.
Yeah, because we're real. Yeah, we get approached all the time. Sirius XM.
No. She's talking about being approached about the podcast, not that other stuff.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
She's talking about the podcast.
Okay, podcast. Got it.
Not the office.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then to be honest, I just enjoy doing that piece of it. And then we do, I always think of what else could I do, but like I said, I do it for, like I started doing the questions again because somebody said, Nikki, this used to be so fun when you used to do it. And now I really do have to think of what's next.
You said it used to be so fun. So I kind of got two questions here. Do you feel guilty about the drama that your questions create?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you're the ish starter of the day. You throw it out there, and it's like a piece of meat you throw out to the hounds, and they come in. They jump on it, and you sit back and you just kind of laugh on your side of the fence while everybody else over there kind of shredding the meat apart. Do you ever feel guilty? Have you ever felt guilty about one of your questions and some of the drama behind it?
No, because I think it's good conversation. It's really conversation, and it gets people to thinking. I get all the time. It's a question that's on here that I was going to ask you guys. Where I mean, these guys were going at it. A guy was on there saying, "You're not a real man," you know.
Oh, we gonna answer that question.
Yeah, but I don't, feel like I'm. No, I don't feel guilty.
I know where this page is going to go. I
entertainment.
know where this is going to go.
Talk to me.
Where's it gonna go?
We haven't had a Jerry Springer-like show in a long time. You're going to be coming out, Nikki. On today's show, side chicks. Where to find
Who
them
they think they is,
and how to keep them.
where to find them, how to keep them. How do you keep a side chick? You know, because isn't the goal of every side chick? Isn't it the goal to become the main chick?
Nope.
And what's that ceremony like? What's that transition?
I don't think that's the thing. I think
that's
honestly,
not the goal.
I think
That's not the goal?
honestly, being a side chick, if you want to keep a side chick, I think you have to keep your regular relationship going, because once that falls apart, the side chick ain't gonna want you no more. They don't want to be the main course. They don't want to be the steak. They want to be the mashed potatoes.
Right.
So to the side chick, you really side dick, right? Because she ain't got to do all the work that the relationship person has to do, right?
And you're probably paying some bills.
Right. And don't have to be bothered all the time. You know, when we explain how do people get in these situations, what are the benefits? Because that's been a question before.
Okay.
What are the benefits? And they were, you only have to be bothered with somebody when you want to. It's usually fun times because they don't have the responsibility. They get gifts and trips
And on top of that, they don't have to say 5 times a day, I'm not putting that in my mouth. How many times a
Are you really asking?
And they don't have to and they don't have to let someone do their frozen makeup.
Wow.
There you go. That's true. There's no bonding at all.
No bonding.
We gonna take a break. We give the makeup a chance to dry. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk to Miss Nikki and ask her. She's gonna actually ask us some questions, and her top questions on the show. Magellan and I are going to attempt to answer these questions to the best of our ability.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Who the hell keeps the tape measure in the bedroom? Wait a minute. Let me think about that question. Why is there a tape measure in your bedroom? Come here, boo. Come here, boo. Qualify. Come on.
Welcome back to episode 17 of Fantasy Friends. We are about to get into the raunchiest of the raunchiest, the dirtiest of the dirtiest.
Come back, nigga. Come back.
Come back, nigga.
It's not going to be wrong.
We have our first guest here on episode 17 talking about relationships. So how this is going to work is Miss Nikki, our guest, will ask me and Merc questions, and we will answer them to the best of our abilities. So
this is finna get heated.
It's going to get real drama-ish. Are we going to start drama? Oh, how would you feel if your marriage ended because of this episode?
For the podcast, I'll do it.
Dedication. Dedication. I love it.
Dedicated. All right.
All right. We ready?
You ready?
Okay. So when getting married, does my debt become our debt? And would you rethink marriage if the person had a lot of debt?
I'm going to defer this question to my radio.
I have a feeling that's going to happen a lot.
Yes, it is.
I hate that aspect, and that was one thing that whenever I was getting married, one of the things before I got into a serious relationship, that's what I thought about. I was like, man, I don't want to have anybody's debt. And then if I have someone's debt, if this person I'm marrying has debt this bad, then what's us being together? What's going to stop that from hurting me? So I think that I wouldn't even be. I hope. Well, it doesn't matter now. I'm married.
You 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. You 10 years in, brother.
Right.
You wearing makeup.
So,
and bonding.
And bonding. You bonding with makeup sessions and tea parties.
so before I was married, I would hope that I wouldn't want to be around people who were like that, because I think a certain kind of person would let themselves roll into debt like that. And I don't think I would even, I don't think I would, I guess the best way to answer is this. If I found out that she had debt, I would talk to her about it, figure it out. Because with Yasmin, man, I'd marry her no matter what.
Oh,
So,
I get points.
Yeah, right now she's looking at me when she's listening to that.
You are tiptoeing around this answer. I mean, the answer's like right there. And you tiptoeing all around it. Just get to it.
So that's what my answer would be.
But is there a limit?
I think if it was ridiculous, yeah. I mean, if you're
what's
talking
ridiculous?
I mean, if you're over $10,000 in debt and you're talking 19, 20 years old, I mean, come on. Which is, when I got married, I got married super.
But what if she's a college student and it's student loans?
I mean, then it's a debt. That's a debt. I don't think I would defer. I don't think, hey, you deferred to me. You don't get to jump in now.
But I got something to say.
Go ahead and say it.
Go ahead.
You may proceed.
College, I would not allow college debt in the forms of a student loan to bother me. To me, that's an investment.
Yeah.
Even if they're a lawyer and it's $100,000?
Yeah.
No, it's still an investment, especially if you're a lawyer. Bring it on, because I know you're going to make that back your first year. But it's an investment. Now, if you're telling me that you got $10,000, $20,000 in credit card debt while you was in college, now you was just being lazy.
Yep.
And instead of you getting a job, you was out there charging
it up.
Yeah, charging it up. So how I look at it, debt before marriage, discuss it. I answered this question, so I'm going to answer it again. You definitely got to discuss it. This is the number one killer of marriages is finance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that's more than adultery, but we know finance kills a marriage. People are not sharing their money, people with different bank accounts, people hiding and shopping behind each other's back, people with hitting credit debt and all that. This kills your marriage right away. So I think what I don't know is when. I don't know when you have the conversation. Is it right before you propose? Is it right after you propose? And is it something where you both sit down and run your credit reports over a meal and say, hey, this is who I am. This is because it paints a picture of your life.
Yeah.
Right.
So when do you do it though? That's the question. When do you do it? When do you say, listen, I want to marry you, but you can't be
I need a credit report.
I need a credit report. That sounds so cold-blooded.
Let's go to creditkarma.com.
Dude, we should create a company that does nothing but like credit dates.
Yeah, credit dates.
People that are serious, credit dates.
Mm-hmm.
We'll set it up, some wine, some cheese, and a credit report.
Oh man, dude! And here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
you would set up, like, our job would be to set up the dates. Like all these other dating websites with this and that. We would set them up by score brackets.
Oh, based on their scores.
So the 400s would be the 400.
Oh.
Why not mix and match them though? That way somebody with the higher can help out a person with the lower.
We didn't messing up our business. No, she is not in your credit bracket, sir. I'm sorry.
Sir, I understand she's got that trailer park look you're looking for. We just can't do it. That's against our policy.
Oh, she a 720. I'm keeping her. I'm introduce her to my friend. I got a 720, bro. Better get down here. I'll save a table for you. All right. What's your next question?
All right. Is it okay for a woman to ask a man out first And if she asks, does she have to pay?
I know you're not deferring this one. Go ahead and take it because it's easy.
I'm going to plead the fifth on this one as well and defer to my friend.
I think
Is
it
it
is.
all right?
I think it's out. I think it, yeah, why not?
So then the question becomes, do they have to pay?
No, I don't think. Here's my thing. If we're going on a first date, I get the whole chivalry and all that and this and the other. I will happily pay for someone. I will. But it means a lot more to me that they offer to split it. So that's what I'm looking for.
Preach, brother.
So you're looking for somebody to split it.
Yeah, I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind paying for it, but just offer it. I'm not going to let you pay for it.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not going to let you pay for it.
So I don't have to pay for it. I can just say, hey, I'll pay for my own. And then you'll say, I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Don't give away the secrets, Chris. Don't give away the secrets.
Because one or two things are going to happen after that point. If you don't offer it, I don't like you, then that's it. We're done. That was the first date. A date's a date. It is what it is. You offer to pay, that gives me a little bit more to work with. And maybe if it wasn't a good first date, just that little gesture right there is enough to get a second and see what happens from there. Because I get it, man. You're nervous on first dates and all that. I mean, I was nervous, man. My hands were soaking wet, sweaty. Yeah.
But you made me think, man. You made me think about something. So when you do go out on this first date, and I'm going to get back to answering your question, but when you do go out on the first date, do you have certain criterias, ahead of time, things that they must do, or something like a checklist per se that they must pass in order to get to the next round, to get to the next date? You know what I mean? Like, like if this person doesn't do this, then they're not for me.
Yeah.
Do men have that and women both have that?
I would assume if you mentally, women everybody has their own.
I know that.
Like preference wise, everybody's got their own.
Tell
preference.
me something that women have, Miss Nikki.
You know what? Women have different ones. For me, I don't
deflect the question. You don't have any other person. You don't have a
Your Honor, she's deflecting.
You don't have a co-host to deflect it to. What is yours?
Women. Well, for me,
let's go.
I don't want anybody on a date that has too much to drink.
Okay, I like that.
That is a turn off. And no, I'm not paying. Even if I said it was my suggestion to say, "Hey, let's go," I'm not paying.
So you are dead set on he's got to pay, or this isn't going any further.
Yep.
Tough. Now, do you offer? Have you offered, or do you?
I have offered to pay for my own before. I'm not paying for for guys, but I have offered to pay for my own, and I have never had anybody take me up on it. They've always paid.
In Miss Nikki's defense, I agree with that statement. I am old school. I am all chivalry. So I've never been out on a date where I've never been out on a first date. Let me pre-qualify that. I've never been out on a first date where a woman has had to pay or worry about anything, or even drive. Yeah, that's something else that I'm big on too. Just looking back over the last 40 years or whatever. Yeah,
even when you needed those tires and brakes.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm walking every day, then you pass me up. Better keep going. No, but I think as a man, I grew up, and it's all about you bring flowers, you pull out the chair, you open the door. You're trying to win this young lady's heart. You're trying to show that you're not. And Jordan, for me, it was always trying to show them that I'm not like these other guys that are out here. That when guys get together and they get to talking, man secrets or whatever, and they're talking about how they was with this woman and how they think about this woman. I was always trying to fight against that stereotype whenever I dated somebody. And so for me, it was all chivalry, Now, if we're a year in
I think that's.
Go ahead.
No, I think that's I think what we talked about earlier was the side chicks. You didn't have side chicks back in the day when you were dating, or if they did, they weren't side chicks. They were mistresses. They didn't want to be out in the open, right? So now you gotta think. Okay, now we have this type of society, and this is what we're dealing with now. Now you got to worry about females taking advantage of guys. You know what I'm saying?
Man, dude, I could not date in today's world because, yes, that's exactly dude, my biggest fear is like, dude, am I a side chick? Am I a side dude? Oh, am I a side dick? Could you just imagine being at home and finding out that you a side dick? Yeah. Dude, that would break my heart. It would break my heart because I'm such a sweetheart, dude. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah,
I'm a nice guy, but to find out that I was just side dick,
and that's the thing you got to worry about. Like these days, I mean, none of us have to worry. Well, I don't know. You, Miss Nikki, are you married?
No, and I don't have to worry about being a side chick.
No. No, what I was just wondering is that stuff that you've had to deal with, like where a guy would take advantage of the situation. I guess it's a little one-sided question almost because we're talking.
You know what it is? I met a guy, a really nice
sexy
guy.
Was he hot?
Talking to my, not, but he had a good job. And
what size was his packet? Sorry.
Whatever. And we went out, and I, was talking to my best friend, and she's like, "Man, that name really sounds familiar." And so we clicked on, her brother on the line, and he's like, "Yeah, he's engaged."
Yeah, he is.
So I had asked the guy if he was, are you talking to anybody and all this? Nope. Actually, and it was a fix-up. His cousin fixed me up with him. And then I knew all of this. So then my best friend's brother is like my brother, and we ended up getting out, and I met him. I still met him, I had him. He picked me up. We went to the restaurant. We got to the restaurant. We ordered the food. And then I said to him, "Why did you lie to me? Because you're engaged." I said, "And you shouldn't put people into this situation because you know what's going on. She knows what's going on, but I don't. So I can go to the bathroom, and she could have came out and stabbed me. And then I ended up throwing the food on him and then walking out and my
wait.
Picked me up.
What did you order that night?
It was an Italian restaurant. It was an expensive Italian.
Was it expensive? Yeah, get the expensive and bring out the Don Juan 1902, please. Soak this fool.
No, but I think that's unfair because you put people into situations that they don't know, and that's unfair. And then, really, in these day and times, it's sad, but it's so many people open to that. You don't even have to lie.
So you were basically in the application process of being a side chick.
That's exactly what I was, Magellan. Thanks for putting it that way. I appreciate it.
She's going through the interview process. Have you ever side chicked before? You have side chicked before. How many times?
And
3, so you have experience. Okay.
Hours of availability?
Yeah, that is funny. We should come up with a questionnaire for that because that is.
Do you text after midnight? You do. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. We'll just score that. We'll score that. Okay. All right. So, say if we were out in the mall, right? And you're on one side of the mall, and I'm on the other side of the mall with my main chick and the kid. Do you wave at me? Do you wink at me?
This is a great list. I promise you it is.
You don't.
Do
you duck and hide?
Have a problem not?
I'm sorry.
Do you duck and hide?
You're not a side chick material. No, you do not duck and hide.
Saddam Hussein was known as the best hide and seek person in the world. Are you a fan of his? You know, But those are things you got to worry about, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you out about chilling and you got your side chick. What if you run into her? What's the protocol? What is side chick protocol? Is it the wink and the nod? Because like if you're a side chick and you agreed on the wink and the nod, don't get that wink and the nod. How does that make you?
Side anything, you should just keep going.
Know your role.
Right. No,
that you chose.
That's the problem. If people get themselves into situations and then they don't play the role.
Don't want to play their role. Yep. Whew. That was whew. Number 3.
You guys ready? All righty.
Mm-hmm. No, but go ahead.
Is it okay to keep in contact with your ex when you're married?
Awful.
I need a qualifier on this one. I need to know if there are kids involved.
No, that can be your exception if you want to say if kids are involved. Because, of course, I would hope you wouldn't be a statistic and a deadbeat dad and you're black. Stereotype. Don't and do check, the stereotype.
And check. Somebody has a list. I'll answer this one first. I think this one has to do with the time frame. You know what I mean? So if you with your new boo and it's been a year or two and your ex pops up on Facebook these are realistic things that happen. Maybe you guys were on Facebook, friends of a friend, or maybe they had a relationship with your mom or your sister. That happens. Maybe y'all work together. There are ways that you can run into each other and that ex can kind of fall back into your life. But at what level that person comes back into your life, that's something you got to be clear about with your spouse. So, yeah, I think there's ways of doing it. You know, it depends on how you and your ex ended. You know, who broke up with who? Did she dump you? Did you dump her? You know what I'm saying? If she dumped you, you better push on. You know what I mean? So, but the other thing about this now, this is the part that nobody wants to talk about. It is all about our ego in a sense, because if I'm with my new boo and I'm kicking in the things are good and my ex trying to give me some attention, that's going to boost my ego a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can almost say, now you can't have me. Look at me now. You know what I mean? So some people do it just for that, just to flash their new relationship and their old relationship's face. Mm-hmm. You know? So
I'll still be cool with them?
I don't even think they care. I honestly, I just think they're just trying to show off. Just trying to please their little ego. Say, look at me now. Look at me now. That's what I think. It's not that.
So if you want to end your relationship, listen to him. And with
exactly.
What?
Here's my thing. If you're my ex for a reason. Period, point blank, it ended, whether it was you or me, it didn't work, and we're not good together, and so, boom, it's done. If I have someone who I'm in love with, who I ended up, whether we're married or not, or I'm pursuing that, I don't think there's any reason or excuse why I should give anybody who's my ex any attention, period. And, you know, that's just kind of where I leave it. I don't want to deal with any of the drama that comes with it. It's black and white. Hey, you were with me. You're not anymore. You're out of my life. This is me going forward.
Okay, so what if you love this girl?
No, because then she wouldn't be
So my follow-up question is, can you love your ex and still love your spouse, your new?
What?
How do you have a follow-up question to my question?
How do you have a follow-up question to her?
This is my podcast. Let's make this clear. We talked about this in the contract. I might have a follow-up question. I got one, and I'm asking. So, can you love two women at the same time?
It sounds like he just became a side dude.
And on that note, we're going to go to the next question. Like that. I ain't no side dick. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't think I am.
All right. Next question, Merc. Will you ride home in a taxi after our events on any given night?
It'll be an Uber, but yes.
Side chick.
I'm a side dick. Never been a side dick that I know of.
I think he's thinking about it. If you can look at his face,
He's trying to figure it out.
Trying
to figure it out.
I am doing a review process right now. No, but maybe. It's okay though. You get to talk to yourself. You're okay, Mert. It's all right. You moved on.
That's the past.
You've healed.
That was the past.
Right.
So question 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. If your spouse wanted all access to your phone, your email, your Facebook, stating that would make them more secure, would you be okay with that?
Yes. I'll answer this one right out the door. Go for it. I'm not doing nothing. So you can have access and look and see everything you want. In fact, I want you to look at everything, check it all out so I can tell you, I told you I wasn't doing nothing. That's
why would you do that?
Really? No follow-up question. No follow-up question. Well, if you're not doing nothing, you ain't got nothing to hide. And I think if you're in a relationship and you love this person and they have this insecurity about that, well, why not? I love them enough to make them feel secure. So yeah, boo, go ahead, check me out.
Yeah.
But
ain't nothing there.
That, don't you feed more into their insecurity, and then what next?
Because the only way that you can make somebody feel secure is by answering the question that is bugging them.
Mm-hmm.
When you try to deny it and hide it, all you're doing is feeding it to it. But when you open up, and I hope that you can open up and feel good about it, then you help that person. Because there's always going to be insecurity in a relationship.
Right.
I don't care how long you've been together.
Is, if you've given, now you've given all this information, I want you to feel better. But if they're that insecure, the next stage, let's download this phone app. Let's see if you really got the cheating app on your phone. You know what I mean? How far does it go?
Okay, well, then at that point, see, there's a flip side to this too, because most people who are insecure like that doing some shit on their own.
Yeah.
They really are. They feeling bad because they out there, they done did some stuff.
Yeah.
And they like, man, well, what if he doing some stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I ain't going to tell him myself, but I'm definitely going to check on him. So they get out there and they do that. But if somebody at that point is if somebody's trying to track you with a phone app, that person got issues and some other things y'all need to be discussing at that point.
Yeah.
Was you at your mama house? You said you was going to your mama house. It take 22.8 minutes to get to your mama house. You know, why you got 30 miles on your car when it should only take you 27.5 to get there? Listen, I like a dedication to a relationship. I like a little obsession.
Yeah.
But that chick crazy.
Yeah.
And you can have bigger issues than giving up access to your Facebook.
No, I agree. I mean, going into my marriage, that's what it was. Everybody had access to anything. What's crazy is that there's no insecurities at all, and it's to the point where I've always had access to everything I've ever wanted. All our passwords, are simple. We all know them. But I honestly, I've never looked at anything because I don't care, because I know even if someone said something or this or that, I'd blow it off, be like, cool, man, talking to a friend or going to eat with whatever. It doesn't bother me. And same for her, she's had all access too. And, I've never known her to track me or to get in my Facebook or anything like that. Cause I mean, if you have nothing to hide and you love each other, then I don't think there should be any insecurities at all.
Right. Right.
Exactly. Right. Well, there are going to be insecurities depending on who you are and where you are in your life, because some people come out of relationships where they've been burnt. And so they drag some insecurities from a past relationship into their new one. And you got to be willing to understand that we're all broken people. Whether we've been broken by our parents or broken by an ex-spouse of some sort, we all got some damage. So everybody gonna have some type of insecurity. You just are.
Not me.
If you love that person enough.
Not me. I'm a robot. Okay, sorry.
Look at your sweaty palms. You were sweating for a reason, all right? It wasn't because you were secure. All right. What's she gonna think about my package? No, that's just the truth. Everybody got scars. If you love a person enough and want to be with them, then you're gonna take that time to understand those scars and help that person heal. And again, some people are not ready to heal, and it may not be time for you two to be in a relationship together. That's just real talk.
Scar tissue that I wish you saw.
Hey, they played that this morning, dude. Yeah. That's my joint. And I Chili Peppers. Question number 5.
Question number 5. Okay, here's a good one. Should there be a max on child support regardless of income? Is there too much that somebody has to pay? So this question came because there's a basketball player who's currently paying $18,000 a month. And she wants an increase to $58K a month.
So
is that too much?
I don't have kids. I'm not black, so I'm gonna go ahead and defer this.
Wow. And by deferring, he's going to defer to the black guy on this one.
Right.
Man, this question is loaded. This question is like a loaded pizza, bro. It got everything in it because you got women who only having kids just to get that extra money. You got dudes sleeping around making babies because they slipped up and didn't pull out. It's horrible. This is a horrible question. But to answer the question, should there be a max? No. I think the lifestyle that the parent is living should match up with the lifestyle that the kid should have access to. I think I said that right.
Yeah.
Now,
right, but if I'm a basketball player, $18,000 my kid a month, my kid can live good, and I'm still taking care of my kid.
Your kid can live good off $1,800 a month. That's not the question. The question is, you brought a child into this world. You live in one lifestyle. That child should be living in your house with you. So if we're gonna be real about it,
right?
You know what I'm saying? He should be benefiting off of whatever it is that you bringing home, and that's what the judges them see. The problem is you got women who waiting outside of the game, after the game in the stadium with their little skirts up and all that woo 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 because they know they can trap a fool. You know, so one, basketball dudes, don't be a fool. Women, go get a job.
Okay, so what about the everyday guy who's paying? Should he go to jail if he don't pay child support? If he can't afford to pay child support, should he go to jail?
Putting a guy in jail because he didn't pay child support is the silliest thing in the world I've ever heard of. How he gonna pay child support in jail?
Yes.
So my thing is they need to come up with an alternative. But this whole repossessing your car and sending you to jail and because you're not paying your child support is foolish. But the flip side of it is you made a baby, take care of your baby. Be a man, step up. That's my whole thing. So you don't. This one heated.
Man, that was the least black thing I've ever heard you say in our friendship.
Take care of your baby. That's it. You know what you was doing, so be responsible about it.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. If just tippy-toeing into this, I think that there should be no limit. Your kid is your kid. You're living a lifestyle, and that marriage was working. That kid would be living that lifestyle, and it should match. I agree with that.
There's another part to this, too.
Okay. Here we go.
Well,
Don't backtrack and don't go... I like where your answer was.
The black question only. It's a black question only. You said it. All right. I'm on the black guy on the show. I'm going to answer it. The other part of this is what happens when, this follow-up question because I am part of this podcast, this guy gets married and starts a new family, then yes, now we're talking about stressing out this guy's financial ability to provide. So I think at that point there should be a reassessment of, okay, he has married and has other responsibilities. So one or two things need to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We need to, recalculate the money that he's giving to this single mom, or the baby needs to move in with this new family, or whatever. That ain't my business, whatever, how y'all want to do it. But don't expect me to continue to pay $20,000 now that I'm trying to take care of my other wife and kids, regardless of what we had. So that's my whole thing.
Yeah,
I just wish that some of the time, because I know that some people pay a lot in child support. I know some people who pay a lot in child support, and I just really wished that they made some of that money go to college funds or something like that when people are paying a lot. Because what ends up happening is there's some people who pay a lot of money, and then when it's time for their kids to go to college, nothing was
Mama done
saved.
flossed it all up. Mama been making it rain, getting her hair done every day. And see, what I really think they should do, if you really want to nip all this in the bud, don't give it to the mother. You give it to an independent party to manage for the child. That way you know that this money is going to what the child needs. The state does it. The state does when it's a child is a ward of a state, that kid gets that money and it's put in and they got a social worker, somebody who helps manage that or whatever. So it should be the same way. Get a lawyer, get an arbitrator. Yeah. So the mama ain't going out. She flossing the new Jordans. He wearing some some whatever. Right. Some Starberries or something like that. But
Shaquille O'Neal.
Right. And then she trying to get extra money on the side because he done already made this pay. Boy, you better go on the question. We'll go to the next question. Go to the next question. Go to the next question. We might have to go. Hey, in fact, let's go to a break. That was question number 5.
I think so.
See, she's supposed to be asking questions. See, we're gonna go to a break anyway.
Okay.
I'm gonna cool down.
Yeah.
Go top off my glass of Kool-Aid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna count these EBT cards up, and we'll be back. What she don't realize is that we still recording.
Oh, are you really?
So that will be used.
Welcome back to episode 17 of Fantasy Friends. We have 5 more questions to endure. I'm actually having fun. How about you?
I am enjoying it, man. But I've decided not to move forward until I get a Fantasy Friends from our guests. This is a requirement of the show.
Yep.
Let's hear it, guys. Fantasy Friends. Let's go.
Fantasy Friends.
That was pretty good.
That was real ghetto. Let's just answer the questions. Let's go. All right, question number 6. What you got for us?
All right. How long should you date before bringing someone to a holiday dinner with your family?
Woo! I'm going to again defer to my partner because I've been answering all the other questions, so I don't want to hog the show.
I think it depends on how well the relationship's going, and I think or how comfortable you feel. If you feel like this could be more than just a date with a random person, I probably met my wife's parents. Probably the third time. Third
time what?
Third, like when we were dating.
Thank you, Rob, together? What?
No, like we went on 1, 2.
You met your parents on the
3.
Your in-laws after the third date?
Probably the third date, yeah. Because
when did you run their credit report?
We were we were meshing really well. They wanted to meet me, and because this is their daughter. And their daughter now has a routine that has been interrupted by something or someone. So of course, I assume if I was
kidnapping her,
I assume
funny.
If I was a parent and my daughter started, missing routines and this, I would want to meet that person as soon as possible. So, but that was it was just how her family was, and they didn't ask to meet me. She just said, "Hey, come over." They asked.
They didn't ask you. They told her, bring this food by.
Hey, bring him by. We're going to pretend like we're making him some good food, which we are making him good food. But we're just going to say we're doing it in his honor versus really pulling his credit report.
So did all you examine your teeth and look in your ears? Because I don't,
No.
Was it an introduction or was it a sit-down dinner?
No, it was more like an introduction. I met her brother, her dad, her mom, and we were there.
Wait, you met extended family, so it just wasn't the parents.
Yeah, it was the parent. Well, I mean, that's not really extended family. Because she was, you got to think,
you were being interviewed and didn't know it.
She was.
She was like, he could be the one. It was like, bring him by.
Right.
But yeah, I just think that it goes with how you feel about that person. If you think, oh man, this is kind of rocky, I don't know if this is just a more of a kind of fling thing. You could tell if something's working out or not. And I say if you're comfortable with it and you're comfortable without that, you don't have to coach them up before they get there, then it's probably the right time. Anything other than that, I wouldn't bring them. It'd just be a disappointment.
So I guess it's my turn to ask this question. I ain't taking nobody home to see my mama until I think this person is worthy of being the one.
I didn't even get to see your mom when I was there, and I am distraught about that.
And I am still struggling on whether or not I should tell her about you. So, I don't know, man. You only get to do this so many times. I don't want to be running women in and out of my mama's house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Without her knowing, right?
Well, those were the 90s. Booty popping. No, but just being real. So, to me, that is for me personally, that is an act reserved. Shortly after that, I am looking to get down on one knee and propose to you.
Suck
them
toes.
Yeah, well, I've already sucked some toes before that. Let's focus on what we're talking about. I ain't sucked no toes yet. You got me confused.
Listen to the fetish.
No, but being real talk, that's an act reserved, before marriage for me.
Mm-hmm.
So unless my mama's like, hey, bring her by, then that's different. But me volunteering to introduce you to my mother, nah.
So how many people met your mother?
None.
Just your wife?
Damn. 3.
Oh,
my high school sweetheart. And the interesting thing about my high school sweetheart is because we had been dating, out, taking the car, go out to her. I met her parents and all that stuff. And she came to pick me up one night. And we were getting ready to go to the movies. And my mom was doing her hair or something like that. And they was in the bathroom for about an hour. And you want to talk about a brother sweating. I was sitting outside like, damn, what are they talking about for an hour? Because I ain't been doing nothing. I wasn't doing nothing. I was still pure, and so I'm like, what's going on? But she gave her the talk. If y'all gonna be together and y'all serious, my mom is real straightforward. Protect yourself. Woo, 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 whatever. So she gave her the talk, and that was it. But the other person was my college sweetheart. We were together 7 years. So, of course, she gets to meet mom and then my wife. That's it. Anybody else? My mom will cut you low.
Ugh.
She will cut you low. So,
well, what about the people who are married and will bring somebody to a family function?
Like what? Like married and they bring somebody that ain't their wife to family function?
Yeah, they bring the side person. Chick? Yeah.
What's this damn side chick that took me by a show?
Side chick, when it could be a side dude.
Side dick or side chick. They done took over the show.
What, and just tell everybody, oh, this is just my friend.
You're right.
If I tried that, my brothers are going to laugh and pick at me the whole time. My sister going to pull me to the side and be like, what the you doing? And I'm going to cut me low.
I know somebody who put somebody out of their house. They was like, pulled them to the side and was like, you guys got to leave. I'm not about to be a part of this. Like,
exactly. And that's exactly what should happen. So,
okay.
Whew, heated questions.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep it moving. If you proposed and she said no, could you stay in that relationship?
Hell no. Sorry.
No,
was I emphatic about
please continue.
No, that is it. Yeah. There is no place to go from there. There is no. You listen.
No, you can find out what she wants and all of that stuff. When I asked this question, a lot of people first were just like, no, they were done. But if you loved her enough to propose, why couldn't you work to see why she said no? And
that is a confirmation that she is not the one for you. Because most men, 99.9% of men are 100% sure before they ask. They have danced around the question, have asked it 1,000 ways other than will you marry me? So they know going in that she not finna reject me. So if this fool had asked it 999 ways and was waiting on this last one to say, will you marry me? And this heifer say no, get my ring back. Keep that receipt. Don't even drive to the crib. Go back to the jewelry store. Get what you gonna get for it. Stop by the liquor store. Then stop by your boy's crib, and that's it. Don't take a call. Don't give me time to think about it. Just not ready. You ain't never gonna be ready. For me, you might be ready for somebody else later on. But for me, hell no.
You answered this question with more passion than any other one.
Don't play games. Don't play games with other people's lives. That's what I'm saying. Don't drag me along in your parade because of whatever.
I almost want to ask you if this happened to you because...
No.
I was thinking the same.
No.
Because you just fired off. No. No. No.
I asked her 900 and some kind of ways. And
Give me all these false positives. No. Quit playing. Well, you never asked me if I was going to marry you, so, I'm just not ready. I got to do this. No.
I'm really sorry that happened to you.
It did not happen to me.
But I'm glad you found your wife. Everything happens for a reason.
I just named the 3 people that even qualified to even get thought about for that question.
College sweetheart. I hate she did that to you.
3 people. So, no.
Oh, I hate she did that. I'm glad you found
He didn't answer. Jella didn't answer. No, you ain't getting away from this one, buddy. Let's bring it. Bring it. What's your answer, sir?
If I asked somebody and they said no, if I'm at the point of asking somebody to marry me, that means that I'm deeply in love and I'm spending the rest of my life. So I would want to figure out, I wouldn't just end it there. I would want to figure out what exactly it is. There's no for a reason. You being in the spot, her in the spotlight.
You're not the one. That's the reason. You're not the one.
So
she just told you no.
Well, here's the thing though, is like
like
me and you talk about secretly in our naked closet.
Jeez.
Whenever people have things going on or their lives are in their way or whatever and they're emotional,
Hold on, bro. At this point, there should be nothing that is in their lives that is going on that you shouldn't really know about. You know what I'm saying? At that point in that relationship where you about to make this woman your lifetime partner. BS. Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
Listen, just leave this one alone. This one touchy. Let's move on to the
Hell no.
Right, we're moving on to the next. I can't continue to do this anymore.
No, since we here, let's talk about it.
I can't see you like this. I can't see you.
I got love. Listen, some people ain't ready, but don't play games. Don't play games.
I would dig deeper and figure out why.
And you are not a detective. You are not Batman. Don't Batman the relationship, bro.
And if it
don't go back in your back game and try to figure out if it was a shirt you had on or what y'all went for had dinner last week. Listen, accept that you're a side dick and move on. Because that's what you're gonna find out. You're gonna dig. You're gonna find something. You're gonna find out she been sleeping with your brother or something. You're gonna be real hurt. She told you no. Let it go.
Remember how deep he was a little bit ago? He was thinking about if he was a side dude and all that. All this is tying back.
I just want to know, was it Jay or was it Rick?
It was the other one. It was Patrick. Oh, it was Patrick. I love you, girl. Oh, my boo.
But honestly, man, like to
what you want to know, bro? What are you trying to find out at this point?
Here's the thing: is I would would I want to be the guy to say, okay, well, that's it. It's said and done. It's over. I don't want to talk to you. It's done, gone. There's no way if you're that deeply in love with someone that you're just going to let it go like that. If you really cared about that person.
You have prepared for this day, bro. You have gotten ring size because you wanted to fit.
Okay, but
she knows the day is coming. But you have done everything.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that if this happens, she says no, I want to know why. And if odds are, if I can't talk it out, we can't talk it out, we can't get past it, then it ends. What? That's it. It's done. But
it was over the minute she said no. Why do you need extra? Why do you need to know why?
You don't know.
But it doesn't have to be over. It could be some fear she has. It could
No. Listen, no. If there are some other underlying issues that y'all ain't discussed, you know what I'm saying, that led up to this no, then maybe you did jump the gun on proposing. But that stuff is supposed to be out there and talked about before you feel like you comfortable enough to ask.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
And that's fine.
Being honest.
But you know what? I think he's been through it and we haven't. Mm-hmm. So we're going to just let him have it. For
the record, I've never, ever proposed to a woman and had her say no.
Shout out to Patrick.
I've only proposed to one woman and she is my wife. That's it. Shout out to Patrick.
All right, you guys ready? Okay, now this
because I'm still upset.
Wow. Just let it go. You're in a better place now.
Yeah,
You're happy. You're married. You met somebody beautiful. You got kids. Let that go. Don't hold on to that.
You got me as your side dick.
I really don't want to finish the show now.
I know, I'm just thinking this is too much information. Okay. Now this one isn't so much relationship, but if you invite somebody to your house for the holiday, should you monitor how much they eat and drink?
When you say invite somebody, you talking about somebody that you dating? You know what I mean? That's what relationship.
No, but this is what I said to you. I asked just all over questions, so it doesn't even have to be a relationship. It could be family, whoever you invite over. Right? It could be your boy. But you know how you go to somebody's house and then afterwards you hear them, she ate this many wings. And if you invite somebody, should you really be monitoring what they eat?
No.
You do, though.
I'm going to defer to Magellan on this one.
If you have to monitor someone's eating, then don't even invite them.
Exactly.
Well, what?
Like, if I can't afford enough mashed potatoes for everybody, then guess what? Hey, listen, I can't pay for you. I tell you what, you spot me, I'll get some extra potatoes, whatever. But but
you don't have kids though, so
right.
That's the difference.
So I can invite everybody over.
Listen,
right.
I'm not hanging out with nobody that's gonna come over and act up in that way. You know what I'm saying? You kind of know your friends and what their habits are ahead of time. So like. Are you surprised if your friend come over and they on their third plate? No, you knew Big Ralph ate 3 plates when y'all went out.
Yep.
You know, mama, Big Ralph coming, just make an extra. That's it. Cook an extra turkey. You know what I'm saying? You know your people before you come over. Nah, if you invite somebody over and I put it like this. I'm going to give them a benefit of the doubt. They come over, they throw down, and I didn't know they threw down. I'm gonna talk it up. I'm gonna lean towards my favorite. Well, all right, Lord, when he was hungry, thank God I was able to bless him. And let it go. But now I know next time. Mm-hmm. Hey, Big Chuck coming. We need an extra ham. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So
and no take home plates.
All right. Now I'm gonna tell you about take home plates, dude. I have seen people come to events and take home food for the week. It would just blow my mind.
I think people come with Tupperware.
Here's
they can pack up there.
Don't bring your own Tupperware unless somebody told you to bring it.
No, I know people do.
You just ride around with Tupperware in your trunk?
I did. I said I know somebody.
You got Tupperware in your trunk right now, don't you?
Yeah. No, I don't.
You know I don't. You got
and I measure the food. I have my.
How many rolls of foil you got in the back of your car? You got the big, that big long roll of foil and then the little small roll of foil. You got the double Ziplocs and the single.
My rule on that is if the person who cooked the food offers it, great.
Yes.
But don't assume you're getting food to take home.
It's people still fixing their first plate and you packing up Tupperware. Come on, man.
I know somebody who fixed their plate.
Yes.
Put it in their car and then come back and get their regular
so
plate.
Ghetto. So ghetto.
Shout out to
So
El.
ghetto. Wow. That's so ghetto, dude. And because I know people like that. They will do that.
Right.
But hey, but you know what? If you're that hungry, go ahead, man. Go ahead. We'll eat peanut butter and jelly. I know it's Thanksgiving, but at least you got a meal. What we on, number 9?
Yeah. So question 9. At what age do you explain to a child that their parent is on drugs?
Ugh. I don't have kids, so I'm going to defer this question.
Do you know any kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a kid. Man, this one I'm gonna be serious on this one because it's such a touchy subject. Drug abuse is crazy because I grew up with that in my extended family, uncles, aunties, friends of friends who had to deal with parents. Their parents one of them was cracked out or drugged out. So it depends on the child's age. Children are able to comprehend some things, other things they're just not. I think a child in junior high, they're old enough to understand what drug abuse is about. They've been taught about it for so long, cartoons, in school or whatever. A child that's not in the 6th grade yet, they won't get it. So it just depends on their age.
And I think it may depend on who they're around because unfortunately, if other kids know, they could have some brutal jokes. So it's
that's the other thing too, though, because I'd rather my kid know and understand what's going on as opposed to not knowing and other kids know and joke. You see what I'm saying? Because people talk. So
exactly,
I want to be the first to tell you what's happening, and I want to be the first to tell you the truth. It's almost like my kid is 11 now. He'll be 12 this year. I'm gonna tell you about sex before your friends tell you the wrong things about sex.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, at 12, we actually had to talk last year. But I'm going to have it again this year and then on until he, whenever I feel like he got it, because I want you to have the healthy facts as opposed to the BS that the world is going to give you. So that's what I think.
I like how you portray to be a great parent. We know that you're not.
Shut that stereotype down. That's what we need.
We shut it down. We shut it down.
Yeah, I applaud that answer, man. Because honestly, I don't think I could really answer this question. I don't have kids, and I don't. Let's just say, I mean, if I don't know. I don't have kids. I can't even, think of where they're at or when I should ask. Look, get into that.
I'm not a super parent, man, but I'm gonna tell you, my kid asked me a question last week, and it stumped me. And I actually had to come back, and I still ain't came back to him. He said, "Daddy,
what's hot, Carl?"
He said, "What's hot, Carl?" And I said, "Son, it's a restaurant in California, and we kept moving." No, but close enough. He asked me. He said, "What's wrong with Miley Cyrus?" And I just wow. I had to step back. Because he grew up with Hannah Montana. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When he turned Nickelodeon, he saw Hannah Montana. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, she's twerking and acting all crazy now. And I'm like, I kind of asked him, I said, do you really want to know? And he was like, yeah. And I was about to tell him, then I was like, I'll tell you later. I left it there because.
How old is he?
He's 11.
Okay.
Be 12 in July. So there, what's going on? That's a loaded question because she ain't Hannah Montana no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's some stuff going on with her that is he going to really be able to understand it? So I just left it alone. And it was funny because then I talked to my wife about it and I was like, maybe I should have just said that Hannah Montana is now a Sith. You know what I mean?
He would have understood
he would
that.
understand that. Yeah, she's part of the dark side now.
She's
son.
went over the dark side.
Yeah, but that's wow. That was the first question that kind of stumped me as a parent. So no, I ain't no super parent, man. I'm kind of learning as I'm going.
Yeah.
What should I tell him? What shouldn't I tell him? Because, it's a crazy world.
Very crazy. So you guys want the last question to be something light?
Oh no, heck no. Mm-mm. Bring it. We want that thunder.
That boom,
all right.
boom, boom.
We want that boom, boom, boom.
Name a reason why most women can't keep a man.
Oh yeah. I got this one, Mari.
No.
I'm gonna defer to my friend.
Let's go to my traveler.
So the question was,
name a reason why most women can't keep a man. First of all, they shouldn't be asked to, and I don't know why we have the phrase of women always trying to keep men, but that's the question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Man, I need to give a reason why women can't keep a man. She's. Do we want to go obvious and say she's cheating around? Like, or we want to get a little bit more in depth? Like,
I want to get in depth. I want to know why, because there are a lot of people who may need to know this that they don't know. Like,
let's help them out.
You've met some women before, so.
Yeah. I've met some women.
Tell them about themselves, Magellan.
Yeah, tell us.
I would say probably one of the things is the whole expectation of what a man should do and should be. I think that's got to drop fairly quick, because just like
lower your expectations.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's okay. You're grown up to say, we grew up that the man provides, the man does this, the man does that, the man does that. I think when you go into a relationship, you need to find out what kind of person you have, not what kind of man that you have. You need to realize that not all men are going to open doors, not all men are going to do these things, and it's not a fairy tale princess type life. Everybody's different, their personalities are different, and you might have just lazy Joe Blow who, never do anything, but he can lay the pipe right, and that's why you like him. But don't
all
think
the right measurements.
Don't think he's gonna change to what you want him to be just because you like that one thing about him. So I would say that not lower expectations, but have an open mind when you go into a relationship and really find out if that person is right for you, versus coming in and having high expectations and the chivalry, all the stuff that's portrayed in Hollywood as, the perfect guy. I think all that's got to drop and just go in with an open mindset. So
can you have a list of things? Do you think that it's fair to have a list of things that these are the things that I'm looking for and sticking with those things?
Yeah, I don't.
Just get to know somebody and don't even do a list.
Well, I think everyone personally knows kind of what they're going for, whether that's, let's just get past the whole looks and what you prefer, but, everybody's got that. Everybody's got that, hey, well, she's got to do this, or she can't have a potty mouth, or I can't have a smoker, or I can't do this. Everyone's going to have their preferences. But when it boils down to it, I think I forgot the question.
You were doing so good.
No. Go. What was the follow up with the second question that you had?
Why? I said the list. Is it okay?
Yeah, that's what it was. But when it boils down to it, you cannot. I think that there's some things, just like buying a house. I think that if all the things are there that's going to make this house awesome, but you don't have the fenced-in backyard, or you don't have the bonus room or this, I think if it works, that you gotta alter that list a little bit. Yeah, everyone's got their perfect fantasy list, but you got to go in there once again, like I said, with an open mind and really feel that person out and say, hey, is this a fit for me going forward? Oh man, I recovered that so well.
Bro,
Yeah, you did really
but
well.
you nailed it. You nailed it
You did.
perfectly. Now it's my turn. You know, I'm gonna need the guest host not to roll their eyes. I'm gonna take it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
The main question is, why can't a woman keep a man? 9 times out of 10, a woman can't keep a man. And I don't like the way that question is phrased, but that's the way it was asked to me.
Right.
It's because they don't have a real understanding of who they are. To be honest with you.
We're going super deep.
Well, you got to, because sometimes we got a false understanding of who we are. We've built ourselves up to be something that we're not. And in doing so, we tend to, it's about expectations, and you should have some expectations in a relationship, but who are you to pass judgment on somebody when you haven't really passed judgment on yourself?
Yeah.
Per se. You know what I mean? Like, you're not perfect. What you out there looking for, the perfect person. So a lot of times when you can't keep a man, it's because of something that you ain't corrected in yourself.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's going back to when he proposed to that girl. And no.
Real talk. Real talk. Most men can pick up on stuff real early. And there's some things that they'll do and there's some things they won't. You know, everybody is growing. But if you come off as you being altogether you perfect, most men are gonna run. Because they know that's some BS. Yeah. They're going to be like, nah, dog, you ain't perfect.
Do they know that it's BS, or is it that they can't handle some stuff?
I love it. What was it? Act like a man, or think like a man, act like a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, listen, for every pretty girl out there, some guy's already tired of her BS. And that just nails it for you. It's as perfect as we all like to think we are. There's somebody in your past who got tired of your BS.
Yeah.
In one way, shape, or whether it was good BS, bad BS, or whatever, they got tired of you. Y'all went y'all separate ways. And that's the feeling that a lot, I think, men and women have, is that they don't have a realistic view of who they are, where they at.
And I'm glad I'm glad you said men and women, because I know how the question was tailored, but that goes both. It goes both ways.
It is.
With this perfect Prince Charming, chivalrous guy who comes in and does this and that. Come on, no, you're not Cinderella and he not the prince. But if y'all both go in there, and you can have a Cinderella and Prince relationship if you go in there understanding who you are and then having real expectations that, okay, I'm not all this, you're not all that, but together, because it is two becoming one, we can grow and be, good enough for each other, be perfect for each other. Like Jazz and Chris, they perfect for each other. Right. Me and Chris, we wouldn't make it. Me and Jazz, we wouldn't make it. You know what I'm saying? But they perfect for each other. And that's what you're looking for, is somebody that's going to compliment you and not complete you. It's just be real about who you are. Yeah. You don't come. This is what I love. You don't keep your house up the way it is every time you come by. You know what I'm saying? Monday through Friday, you living like a slob, but because he finna take you out on Saturday, you done cleaned up, and now you presenting this front out. You know what I mean? You don't have that extra long hair, but you bought it the day before. Be who you are. Be who you are. Listen, if I was dating today in this real world, I'm showing up at your crib at about 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. I want to see that do-rag, and you know what I'm saying, and that mask on your face. I want to see the real you. I want to see them raggedy pajamas you got on.
But you may see the police if you don't call first and show up for somebody else at 1 o'clock.
Hey, I'm outside. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Because in 10 minutes, you ain't finna wash that off your face. But 10 minutes, let me see it in 10 minutes, or let me see it a year from now. Because a year from now, you answering the door in that do-rag.
Yeah.
You answering the door, and you got half your weave in and half of it out. Be who you are up front. Don't put this facade out there.
Yeah.
And then get mad. Because once you decide to stop maintaining it, this dude is on the way. I think, now you got me started. I think there's a lot of clunky men and women out there. When I say clunky, is that they got so much BS on, you know what I mean, that once you start tearing all the layers off, people are like, well, damn, who the hell is you? You're a stranger to me now. So come as you are. Let me love you as you are.
Yeah.
You know, have enough confidence.
Open, honest, man. Just be honest.
Right.
I'd say it's like an interview for a job. You just people BS and people, and I know this. I know this exactly from, I deal with it all the time. When I'm interviewing someone for a position, you can tell when they're BSing or they're not.
Right.
Stuff just doesn't match up and it doesn't add up. And guess what? They're not getting the job. I think that's how you should go in every first date, every first couple of dates, the first month. Just go in, be yourself, be open, be honest. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? It doesn't work out. Yeah, she's super hot. Yeah, he's got a great job. But guess what? It just didn't work out. So move on to someone else, because the money's not going to make you happy. The looks are going to not make you happy. Those two things are both going to fade away. She's
going to get fat. He going to start drinking beer. It's going to happen. Like, listen, you can't go out. If you got an Olive Garden budget, then go to the Olive Garden.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can't go to, what's the name of that place? The place that's really expensive. You can't go to that place or whatever it is every time. Then next time you go out, she's going to expect you to go back to that fancy place again. Nah, you got an Olive Garden budget. This is where we going. We still eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing is, if that person not satisfied with them breadsticks, move on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Save yourself the headache. That's shut it down. Okay. This has been episode 17 and Merc shut it down. But that's question number 10. Miss Nikki, it has been a blast to have you on the show. I enjoyed it. You fit right in with us. Please tell the listeners and your listeners where they can find you, where they can find the next relationship question of the day.
They can go to Relationship Question of the Day on Facebook.
Cool.
And Chris, where can they find us?
You can find us everywhere.
You can find us in the club. It's at the club.
Facebook.
I guarantee you I won't be in the club.
Fantasy Friends Podcast on Facebook. You can hit us up on Twitter at FanFryPod. YouTube, Fantasy Friends Podcast. We're all over there. If you want to hit us up, not so openly, you could also do Fantasy Friends Podcast at gmail.com. So we're good, man. I think it was a great episode. We had a blast. I'm not going to tell you that we're going to bring you back because that's off. That's something we got to do in the naked closet. Me and Merc got to take a visit to the naked closet first.
Because there will be no naked closet.
There are naked closets.
If there's a naked closet, I won't be in it.
I'm like, together, you guys going there together?
Absolutely.
I know this is a creepy bromance, but I'm not part of it. I did want to tell the listeners this. We know that some of you guys had problems with the show last week, not playing on some of your players. And actually, it might have been a bad problem for you guys, and we apologize, but it was actually a good problem for us. Yes. It just means that we have more people listening, and the host that we use for our podcast wasn't able to handle the traffic that we're bringing them. Mm-hmm. So we are working to make sure that every time you go out to find one of our shows, it is available for you. So right now, if you want to listen to this show and or a show in the past and you couldn't, you can find all the shows on our YouTube page. That is where you'll find shows, episodes 1 through 16, and you'll actually find this episode. Of course, you're listening to it now, but that's our archive. You'll always find our shows there. And we thank you for listening and sharing with your friends. We ask you to continue sharing with your friends, continue listening. Make sure you check out Miss Nikki's page.
Yes.
This has been a blast. Thank you both.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I had a blast. Thanks. It was fun.
Yep. And that's it. Episode 17.
With the show. We had our first guest.
Yay!
Yes,
thank you. Fantasy Friends.
Y'all have a good night. Thanks.